Today, I'm going to be really talking to you about a really awesome subject, something which is very close to my heart. But before I go there, I want you to get access to my free 7-day Kickstart transformation course, where every day you get a new power lesson to transform your life. So on day 7, you experience your awakening that will allow you to make the transformations that you desire and absolutely deserve. Now you can get that at www.josephclough.info/claim. Now today I'm talking about what you can learn from business brands that will cause you to succeed. Now, I want you to imagine this. Imagine if a business were to, some kind of brand, or say you really enjoy a product of some sort, so you purchase this product. Imagine if they communicated to you from a place of scarcity, like, please buy my product, please go ahead and do it. I'm really fearful about giving you this product. I don't know if it's gonna work for you. You would never purchase from that organization or that business because it wouldn't resonate with you. You wanna be able to achieve or receive value or the quality, and the communication that you get from a business will dictate whether you purchase it or not. Now, why do I say that? Because really, you've got to think about what you are communicating to the world around you. Are you coming from a place of fear and scarcity? Are you living in doubt when you're speaking to your boss, or when you're speaking to your potential relationships or your present relationships? If you're coming from a place of scarcity, fear, and doubt, you're not actually going to be bringing in the right opportunities. You see, when you act that way and you speak that way, so you're speaking scarcity of all the things I don't want this to happen, I don't want to be more in doubt, I don't want another bad relationship, your body is actually communicating that as well, and of course, your behaviors are. So I want you to be very, very conscious and consider yourself as if you were a brand or a business. And if you consider that, what messages would you like to communicate to other people, to the world, to the universe? Whatever your beliefs are, even to your own unconscious mind, what do you really want to be communicating? Because obviously I am involved in business, and I surround myself with people who are doing very well in business, lots of entrepreneurs. They're like in my circle. And one thing I've realized over the years when I've been on my journey of business, because this is ultimately a business, I know I like to provide as much as possible, but I do this for a living full time, and I love everything that I do. And the things that I've learned over the years, even the last 15 years being in business full time, doing exactly this, I've learned that businesses manage to figure out exactly who they're targeting. So they're considering that they don't want to communicate with everyone, okay? They don't want to be selling to the whole population. Maybe some brands do, but more often than not, even if you think they're communicating to everyone, they're probably not. They're communicating to just a part of the population. They're just communicating to maybe certain genders, or they're communicating to certain age range or demographics, like the locations, the type of social class, all those kind of things. They're very, very laser in their communication of who they're targeting. So why do I say that? How does that apply to you? Well, in the exact same way, you've got to communicate to your unconscious, to you, the universe, the world, and everyone else there around you, like everyone in your environment, exactly how you want to be different, but you got to do so in a very laser targeted way, just like a company does. You have to figure out what your equivalent would be to demographics, or to locations, and to genres and genders and the types of people. How do you do that? You've got to be really clear on what you want specifically. There's no point going, I want just happiness, because you could just maybe watch a happy movie and then you've achieved that goal at an unconscious level. Or if you want more money, you could just find a dollar or a pound or a euro on the street, and suddenly you've achieved your goal of earning more money. That general way of thinking will never get you to where you want to be. So like a business, you've got to come up with and specify exactly what you want. You've got to be very laser focused in exactly what you want, and also how you want it to happen. Because if you're just going about in your day-to-day and not being focused on your outcome or how you want to be different, then you're going to get those vague results. And I don't want you to have vague results. I don't want you to just generally be going by in life. I want you to get results every time. And the way you do that is by specifying exactly what you want. So be very clear in your objectives. Just like a business, treat yourself like a business. So like I said right in the beginning, you don't come from a place of scarcity of, oh, please buy my stuff in a business. You would go and go, okay, this is exactly what I want. I want this. I'm going to get value. I'm going to get X, Y, Z. And I want it specifically like this. X amount of money, like be very precise. Or I want to succeed in this job interview. I want to act and react just like this. I want to lose exactly 20 pounds in weight. You have to be so precise and build that image up in your mind with those specifics that you know that is exactly what you want, and your unconscious mind knows exactly what it is as well. So be very clear on what you're targeting. Just like a business, your focus has to be on what you want and not what you don't want. Because if you focus on what you don't want, if a business was selling something in, say, to females, but they're targeting men, then it just seems pointless, right? So you've got to be very clear that, okay, I'm not going to be targeting scarcity or doubt and fear or all the things I don't want. I'm going to be targeting exactly what I want. And then you would think about that in a positive, almost like your own GPS in your mind. You focus on the destination, and then the steps will begin to become far clearer. Now, of course, you might need more help with that, like certain action steps, which I can't go into right now with the time that we have together, but you absolutely should go ahead and be specific in exactly what you want. Now, the other thing about businesses who are very, very successful, they adapt through the times. Even if you look at celebrities, they begin to, as they grow older, they start to adapt and they start to transition from where they were to where they're going to be. They don't stay the same because they'll become outdated. And there's the exact same thing in business. If something's not working, they begin to adapt and change. And you see loads of brands do this all the time. Loads of businesses just slowly and effortlessly adapting to the economy, or they're adapting to certain demographics, and they're adjusting their brand. How does that apply to you? You have to be flexible and adapt to your environment. We have survived as a species because we have adapted to our environment. Other species haven't had the ability to do that, and therefore, and sadly, they have died out. But you have the ability with this most amazing thing, which is your mind. Your mind is very adaptive, but you have to be the instigator of that. So if something's not working, you have to learn and grow. You've got to adapt to your environment. Viktor Frankl, who wrote a massive, most brilliant book called Man's Search for Meaning, he was in the Nazi concentration camps, and he said something like this: when we're no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So think about that. Someone being in a Nazi concentration camp, going through all that trauma, seeing all that horrid behavior, yet he came out with that belief: when we're unable to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Now, every business, successful one that is able to adapt to its environment, to its economy. So you have to do the exact same thing like a business. Be very, very clear on what you want. Selling profoundly, because if you don't think you're a salesperson, then you're not quite understanding. You are always selling yourself, whether it be in relationships, whether it be in job situations, whether it be in your health, the way that you look. We are always selling in some way. It's just not through purchasing, right? It's not through buying or selling monetary things, but we're always selling. And we have to also sell the dream to our unconscious mind. We have to be very clear, as I said, on what we want. Be very targeted, like a business, and begin to adapt. So if something's not working, you begin to adjust your strategy. Einstein said something like, the someone doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is a definition of insanity. So you don't want to keep on doing the exact same thing if it's not working. You adjust your strategy. Take what you've learned, because there's no such thing as failure. You just learn from it and you grow. You adapt and you keep on learning and applying new information. And you've got to communicate just like selling, okay? Like in businesses. Here's my whole analogy. When it comes to business brands, they communicate what they want. They communicate their service. Now, what are you communicating to yourself and even to other people? I get plenty of emails from many, many people, okay? Lots and lots and lots of emails. And sometimes people will say to me, Joseph, I'm in this situation and I really want to change and I just want the solution. I'm not going to invest in anything because although I've got money, I just don't want to invest. That communication is all wrong. I mean, you've got to think, how can I serve someone? If I want to be able to achieve in the world, I've got to be of service to the world. And that could mean just be of service to yourself by applying these strategies, or it could be being of service to the people in the community, or the service to your work. If you want a promotion, of course, you're going to have to be of service to that company. That is just the way that it works. And if you're thinking about making transactional change in your life, you've got to be of service. When you are of service, you feel good and you actually start to feel more gratitude. Just like a company, be of service and give something out there into the world. You can do that in many, many ways. You can help anyone. You can even just let people know about these videos. That's of being of service, or this podcast, or on the app. You can do so many things to be of service, but if you're not being of service to others, and especially if you're not being of service to yourself, then why would your unconscious mind want to return the favor? So just like a business, once you're selling profoundly and you're being very clear on what you want and you're taking action and you're being adaptive, if something's not working, you're doing something else, absolutely be of service to the world. It's just one of those things. If you're of service, then you feel gratitude and your unconscious mind begins to look for more of it. Now, the other thing there's two more things I want to talk about my analogy here. The other one is to really invest in yourself. You see, businesses invest in advertising, right? They sell, they buy media space, whether it be through adverts or on the TV or billboards or literally anywhere. They're just kind of selling themselves, investing in themselves. And I want you to realize that if you're going to make a change, you must, without a doubt, invest in yourself. And there's two ways that you do that. You invest through time. If you're not willing to put in the time, you're not willing to get the outcome. You might see it as like, okay, I'm just going to leisurely listen to this and agree with it, but do nothing with it. That is not investing through time. Time is understanding, realizing, and applying in your life. So you've got to put aside time to make that transition and be a success. And just like a business, you may even be investing in yourself in a monetary way. So you might be buying audio programs. I mean, that's what I do. I am always investing in myself. My wife was just saying this on a post within Mind Mastery about practitioner, when she was talking about when she first became a practitioner and a coach, she invested by selling something of hers. I think it was a couch, and also renting out her place because she was going to a different country to learn this information. It was a crazy big investment, but you know what? Because of that big investment, she got the return, and she's just flying as a coach. I mean, absolutely epic as a coach, coaching entrepreneurs to really get to the next level. And that came about from the decision to do something, to invest in a monetary way. I'm just putting it out there. Whether you do or not, that's up to you, right? But I know the difference. If you think about businesses, they're always investing in themselves. They're investing. They're not just waiting and never advertising. They realize that clients or customers aren't just going to come to them. They have to do something about it. They got to invest. So you got to invest through time and usually through money. If you haven't got money, then you definitely have to double up on the investment through time and save and save and save until you get to that point. And if you You maybe even want to be conscious of what you're spending money on. It might be spending money on going out too much, or drinking too much, or eating too much, or on drugs, all those kind of things where other people are going out spending money on the things they don't need. There's someone else spending money on themselves to succeed. That person is going to make the change. So we have to invest through time and also in money. If we take this analogy of business brands, these multi-billion-dollar, and these the people I'm connected with, I coach entrepreneurs all the time. And they're turning over like $20 million, $30 million a year. I'm just learning from the best all the time, and I just get these strategies and start to apply them in my life. And they just so apply to personal development. And there's exactly why you're here. You're adapting, you're learning, you're growing. And these tips are absolutely doing that. Now, the other thing, the last thing I want to say about this is that businesses serve and support people. They take care of their customers, the good ones, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't buy from them again if you get poor customer service. In this day and age, people are willing to write bad reviews on just the smallest thing. So if you want to really, and this is going back into being of service, you've got to make sure that you are giving yourself the service and the support. You have to build in the right foundations, the right support mechanisms. It might be like I said the other day on my last video or audio about maybe listening to these videos and these audios with someone else, or in conjunction with someone else. And that means you're keeping each other accountable on your journey of transformation. But you've got to be the supporter of yourself. You've got to be your number one supporter, because if you're not, then why would anyone else want to have that support? I want to be your biggest support. I mean, if you think about Mind Mastery, where I'm coaching people every 2 weeks on live calls, taking their questions, speaking to them and coaching them, all those kind of things, they're getting the right support. They've got over 100 people on their team supporting them within Mind Mastery. So you've got to figure out, how can you get that support? How can you get that and make that happen? Whether it be through my programs or other people's or whatever it is, even just a friend or a work colleague who's been listening to this as well, or just kind of getting them on to listen to these things. You could begin to add more people onto your team. You're supporting others. You're supporting yourself in that transformation. So let me give you a quick rundown exactly what we spoke about. If you think of businesses and brands which are great at what they do, you might not even like their product, but they're just really thriving and succeeding. Or think of a business which is doing great for you. I mean, you just love their product. They are super clear in who they're targeting, who they're servicing. So you've got to be very clear on exactly what you are targeting. You have to make sure that you're not selling from scarcity, okay? So that you're selling yourself, or you're selling your unconscious mind dreams from this, I don't want this, I don't want that. It doesn't work that way. So be very clear on what you want and begin to radiate and just kind of push out there into the world exactly what you want and operate from that feeling. You've also got to be very, very flexible. Like I said, Viktor Frankl said, when you're unable to change your situation, you're challenged to change yourself. So be adaptive to your environment, just like businesses are. Also, you've got to be communicating the right message, just like a business does. When they're doing their adverts, their marketing, they're trying to convey something. And you've got to be conveying and marketing and communicating to your own unconscious mind, to the universe, to the world, all those kind of things. You've got to just be putting it out there and taking action. And then you've got to be investing in yourself through time, through money, and to really double up on those to make sure you get what you want. And then you need to be able to be of service and to support yourself and get the right support on your team. And if you do those things, I know you're going to see a massive transformation. And that brings me to my last point. If you want the Kickstart Transformation, my free 7-day training, which will every day you get a brand new video of how you can begin to let go of your issues, get super clear on all these things I'm mentioning right now. If you want to get all of that every day, building upon the previous lesson, you will see crazy awakenings. You will just be not only understanding, but you will be realizing and making things happen. You see, You don't need to improve, you just need to change. When you change, you will transform your life. So understand and realize, and if you want to get access to that, go to www.josephclough.info/claim. Okay, so this is you're claiming something, josephclough.info/claim. So I'm going to end it right here. I hope you really enjoyed that. I really love the analogy of like seeing things from different points of view. And I think businesses who are doing amazingly well, we can learn from them because they're successful. And if we begin to adapt and utilize that information, you will see remarkable transformations in your life. So I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Many thanks and goodbye.